So today we're talking about society and how you are society. People talk about wanting to fix society, don't they? They look at the problems that exist today. But society itself is merely a collection of individuals. People love pointing out societal flaws, don't they? Could be health issues, communication issues, the state of crime. There's hundreds of things, and we're going to look at some of them today. But are you someone who is contributing to this societal downfall? Just think about that for a second. The same things you complain about are probably a lot of the things that you yourself are doing. Maybe it's a case of you feel that more people are on their phone and don't enjoy the moment as they used to. But if you were to look on your phone at your screen time, you'd probably be quite surprised with how much you also use your phone. Maybe you think pornography is not great for society, yet you're on videos every other day or every night. Maybe it's the health and fitness of society. If you see people overweight, but you're overweight, maybe you're part of the problem. Maybe it's language. You think and you feel that too many people speak road and don't speak properly. They don't use good vocabulary. Are you someone who also does that? Maybe it's how people dress. You think that people shouldn't just walk around in tracksuits and hoodies, yet you do that yourself. Maybe it's hygiene. You think that people should take care of themselves more and be clean, yet you litter and you don't wash your hands or you don't wash your clothes. Again, you are representing society, aren't you? Maybe you think that there's not enough kindness or empathy in society. And again, maybe that's you. Maybe you laugh at people less fortunate than yourself. Maybe you want buses to be on time and trains to be on time and your aeroplane and your flight not to be delayed, but you're late to work yourself. It could be work ethic, even. You want people to serve you quickly when you go to a bar or restaurant, but you slack when you're at work. Maybe you think the consumer and country debt is getting out of hand, yet you also are in some form of debt, even if it's a mortgage. Maybe you think people should do more for charity with their money. You think, well, Jeff Bezos and football players should be helping out those poorer people. Yet, even with your means, and you might think you're not well off, but you are relative to a lot of people in a lot of countries. So, should you take up the mantle yourself? Maybe you get upset with how ignorant people are. Again, are you ignorant to a lot of things, of how things work and how you should behave? Do you hate the fact that society is very negative, but you also are negative about things? Instead, should you spread positivity and gratitude? Do you think people are too greedy, but yourself are also greedy? You're not generous. You're always looking to save a few pence here and there by not doing your dues to society. Maybe you think that your company should pay you more, but you don't tip. Again, it's a cycle. Maybe you're concerned about misinformation that's out there, but do you lie yourself? You complain about the news lying, but you maybe are overstating your CV or your accomplishments. Maybe you feel that society should be more creative, but actually you just copy what other people have done. Maybe you value respect in society, yet you are not trusting and don't show dignity in every action. Maybe you're annoyed by the fact that society is dependent on the state, yet you are on benefits and dependent on the state. Maybe you hate the fact that there's too much crime, yet you yourself have either committed a crime or continue to commit crimes. You feel that the world has gone to individualist and not collectivist in respect of family values and nuclear families, yet you've divorced your wife and actually don't spend much time with your family anymore. Maybe you dislike the fact that people litter and there is an environmental issue and neglect, and maybe you're part of that. Maybe you've got your lights on too often in rooms that you're not using, or dropping litter, as I've said, or buying a 5 litre petrol car, or etc., etc., etc. Maybe you feel that there aren't enough leaders in the world, but do you even lead within your friendship circle? Or are you reliant on others to do the planning for you? Maybe you're upset that the world doesn't have much discipline anymore. They just fall foul to their desires. But again, are you part of the problem? You fancy a takeaway and you get one. You fancy watching porn and you watch it. You fancy smoking or drinking and you just go ahead and do it. You procrastinate about going to the gym and then you end up not going. Maybe you feel that society doesn't eat healthy enough, yet you still go to McDonald's 3 times a week. You still eat frozen food. Maybe you're someone who eats just yellow food, as they say, chips, nuggets, burgers. Maybe you dislike the fact that people waste so much time, yet you sit and watch Netflix for 6 hours a day. Maybe you feel that we're not educated enough, and real education, I mean, but you don't learn every day. Maybe you hate the fact that people are rude and cold, yet you don't approach people and try and open up a conversation. Maybe you feel that people relationships aren't strong enough, but you don't again reach out and actually harbor some of your older relationships. Maybe you're frustrated at the fact that life is very superficial now, Instagram culture, etc. But you do the same. You still try and, floss what you've got and, wear branded t-shirts and jumpers and try and get that Rolex watch. Maybe you're just as materialistic as everyone else. Maybe you feel that society isn't fair enough, but you're not fair. Maybe you're annoyed that people are too passive in their decisions and don't want to say honestly what they think. Yet you do that because you don't want to upset your boss or lose your job. Maybe you feel that we need to go back to more religious times because of where this hedonistic, atheistic life has taken us, but you don't practice any spiritual or religious actions in your day to day. Maybe you hate the fact that people are complacent and don't do their job properly. Something that we all complain about. Oh, this builder didn't do a very good job. This plumber didn't do a very good job. This painter didn't paint very well. But again, you're taking shortcuts at your job and you're part of this same society. Let's look at some people who have taken it upon themselves to change things. Obviously, minus the big political figures, um, and people who have made huge changes to philosophy, etc. Someone like Arnold Schwarzenegger, he was an immigrant, but he became a world champion bodybuilder, so he absolutely smashed it in that domain. He then became a Hollywood star, absolutely killed that domain too. And then he became a US political figure, an absolute winner, this man is. He's achieved three lifetimes in one, hasn't he? Because he understands that he is part of society and he needs to, for himself and for his kids and society in general, needs to provide a service. Maybe it's, I don't know, someone like Serena Williams. She focused solely on tennis, and people have now taken up tennis because of her. You could use any sportsman. I'm sure there. And maybe it's a case of actually understanding that these people sacrifice a lot, and actually, in order to get these results, you need to do the same. Either you are someone who inspires others, or you distract others. If you inspire, you are going above and beyond to excel, and others will look up to you. If you're distracting others, you bring others down. You say, "Yeah, don't worry, we'll just have a cheeky McDonald's, or we'll just, have this extra few beers tonight, or whatever it's going to be." What are you? Are you contributing to the benefit of society or not? Obviously, the world is not perfect, is it? In any way, shape, or form. And it's tempting to feel like we have no control, we're powerless. But when we understand that we can adopt an internal locus of control, we understand our actions can create a ripple effect. So focus on those things you can control. You will not only better your own life, but also those around you. Think about this. Let's say you've got two kids and a wife, and you improve your life. So you start to work harder and go to the gym more, etc. Your whole family will experience a better life. You'll move to a bigger house, maybe you'll have more disposable income, maybe you'll drive a better car, in which case your kids will have a better trip to school or whatever. And then your village or town might seem better as well because there's better cars on the drive, whatever. There's just infinite different ways you could look at this. But the whole premise of this is to say you are society. It's the whole adage as well of people say, oh, there's so much traffic. You are traffic. You're in your car as the same as everyone else, but we don't like to look at ourselves. We like to look at others. So start taking responsibility and understand that you are responsible for where society is today.